Okay, good morning everybody. So today we're going to continue with our learning of the Kitzur Likutei Moharan, and we're going to continue with the fourth lesson. Now, the Kitzur Likutei Moharan is divided into a learning schedule that you can learn a small piece every day for the entire year. Interesting enough, what I have chosen, I'm going through the book by myself from the beginning. Today is the 9th of Tishrei. Tonight and tomorrow is the 10th of Tishrei, being Yom Kippur. And the particular piece that I've chosen, not on purpose, but it's just the piece that I resonated with, is actually under the daily learning of the 10th of Tishrei, which is Yom Kippur. And I'm going to tie the piece into Yom Kippur at the end. You'll see the beautiful connection. So the fourth lesson goes as follows. It's called Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am the Lord your God. Now, what does this mean? It's very simple. There's many different meanings, but just a simple understanding is that I am the Lord your God. Hashem is saying that my essence is the creator of the world, and my essence, which is the creator of the world, is the God that does everything for you. It's the God that gives you food, that gives you sustenance, etc., etc. That's a simple understanding. Obviously, it's much more deep than that, and there's many more ways of understanding it. Now, I'm doing paragraph 15. So in Hebrew, that's tesvav in the Kitzur version, and it goes as follows. Through a person's cleaving to the infinite by running and returning. In Hebrew, it's Ratzoi v'shuv. Without going into too much depth of what that means, the idea is very simple, is that a person, like a flame, wants to connect with Hashem naturally. It's really the soul of a person wants to connect with Hashem, just like a flame naturally raises upwards and dances upwards. So our soul dances and desires to connect with Hashem. There's certain channels that help us do that. The two obvious ones is davening and learning Torah, tefillah and limud Torah. Those are the two obvious ones. Also doing mitzvahs, but particularly davening and learning Torah are the channels of running towards Hashem. But then we have to come back downwards. If you look at a flame, it runs upwards, but then it settles downwards as well, because if it runs upwards entirely, the flame will leave the wick and it will actually get extinguished in the process. We don't want that. It's possible for a soul to leave the body by cleaving to Hashem to the greatest degree. It's possible, but we don't want that. That's not the point. That's actually what happened to Nadav and Avihu when they went into the Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Holy of Holies. Their souls left their body. But that's not what our goal is to do. But the point is that, just to go back to the text, through a person's cleaving to the infinite, cleaving to Hashem, using this process of Ratzoi v'shuv, running and returning, when a person then returns to his own consciousness and to his own state of separateness from God, I'm going to explain, there still remains in him a remnant of the wondrous light of the state of attachment. So what that means is in other words, is that when a person desires to connect with Hashem, okay, and spends the time connecting to Hashem, learning Torah, davening, being at Shabbos itself, a person is in a state of a revelation of Hashem's presence in their life. May we all merit this revelation. Some more than others. Sometimes more than other times. But this actually happens. What happens when you leave that state? You davening, you go home. You go home to the family, to the kids. You go to work. You involved with basic materiality. And whether it's things which are obviously halakhically allowed, or God forbid things which are not halakhically allowed, we return to our own consciousness. But we're not the same person. We return to our own consciousness with the revelation of Hashem's light. What I've come across before is the concept of a reshima. A reshima means an imprint. It leaves an imprint on us as we continue our day-to-day life. That connection with Hashem, that revelation of Hashem, which we had to earn through desiring to cleave to Hashem. That revelation is imprinted on us. We don't leave the same person, we leave a different person. This is actually one of the fundamental ideas, that a Jew, our lives is not meant to be fragmented. Our lives are meant to be completely connected with one element with another element. And whether that's element of davening, of learning Torah, of earning a living, of doing an act of kindness, of dealing with your child, everything's connected. And this is one of the ways that it's connected, that through those higher spiritually charged moments, that light and revelation imprints itself on us, and during our average day-to-day life, involved with basic materiality, that revelation of Hashem's presence is still stuck with us. I think that's a beautiful idea, and that this isn't just theory, this is actuality, this is actually what happens. Someone went to the Alter Rebbe and asked, how does he know if he's doing these spiritual processes using the mind, which we can discuss another time, to contemplate on Hashem? How does he know if it's even helping? He's putting in all this effort and he feels like the same person. The Alter Rebbe says, look at your thought, your speech, and your action, and compare it. Make a comparison between your thoughts and speech and your actions before you spend all this time and effort trying to connect with Hashem, and afterwards. And you'll notice the difference, because no effort, no input that we do is wasted. That effort, that input goes somewhere. And where will it go? Into our thought, speech, and action, being more aligned and being more connected with holiness, with Hashem, and with the revelation of Hashem's presence in this world and in our lives. So to finish off the the paragraph, this remnant then shows to the person's conscious mind the unity and goodness of the infinite, so that he knows that everything is good and everything is one. So we discuss in Torah, our rabbis discuss all the time, that everything is good, Hashem only does good. But do we see that? Do we feel that? The answer is most of us, most of the time, no. Not necessarily most of the time. Obviously there's good that we see good. But a lot of the times, things are bad, or seem bad. Things are very difficult, right? They seem very difficult. And things seem compartmentalized. Things seem separate. A person's boss is giving them a hard time. Or don't want to go too extreme with examples, but bad things happen in this world. You know what the truth is? Hashem makes those bad things happen. Is it easy for us to accept that statement? Here, what Rabbi Nachman is saying is that through the more we cleave to Hashem, when we come out of that state of cleaving to Hashem in our everyday life, we will start to recognize how it is Hashem that makes those bad things happen. And then on a deeper level, it's not a bad thing. It's only bad on the surface. It's only not good on the surface. Deeper down, Hashem is only good, and Hashem only does good. And then he continues and finishes off, this awareness is the taste of a world to come. Because the world to come is a world where it's revealed that everything comes from Hashem and that everything is good. It's revealed. It's not to say that's not the case now. That's just what's revealed in the world to come. So how does this link up with Yom Kippur? Well, Yom Kippur is the day of the greatest Ratzoi, the greatest yearning and cleaving to Hashem possible on the calendar. It happens to every Jewish soul, if we like it or not. Our souls get cleansed. Our souls rise up. Our work is to tune into it consciously. We do that obviously by keeping the mitzvahs of the day, which is particularly fasting and doing teshuvah. And then everyone to their ability is davening as well. Davening, which is obviously linked up with teshuvah, it's obviously very linked. Going to shul, learning some Torah as well in one's free time, it's also a part of it. And this helps a person tune in with the energy of the day. And by doing that, we are able to enter the deepest level of consciousness possible, which is really this idea of the yechida, the essence of of time, which is Yom Kippur, which links up with the essence of our soul, which is the Yechidah, which literally means like the oneness, the unity. And that is the energy of the day. And through tuning into the energy of the day, we're able to then do what the text is saying to the easiest degree, to tune into this reality that everything is good because it comes from Hashem and everything is one. So you get, again, in other words, just to clarify, make sure what I'm saying makes sense, is that Hashem is one, everything is one on an absolute level. But from our frame of reference, we struggle to see that. It's like Hashem made veils and difficulties, stopping us, preventing us from recognizing that, and therefore also stopping us from recognizing that everything is good, because Hashem is good, everything Hashem does is good, therefore everything is good. But we don't see that. On Yom Kippur, which is the greatest degree of running and cleaving to Hashem, we are able to the greatest degree to tune in with the real reality that everything is good and that everything is one with Hashem. And one with Hashem doesn't mean there's something outside of Hashem. So one with Hashem means everything is from Hashem, whether it's seemingly good or seemingly bad. But when a person tunes into the deeper levels, everything is only good. So it comes hand in hand, recognizing that everything comes from Hashem. At the same time, it automatically recognizes that everything is good, and vice versa. The real good we know comes from Hashem. It's good. People think good, having a lot of money is good. People think many things are good which aren't really good. But the real good is what comes from Hashem. So it's completely linked up. So that's just the idea over here. I hope that made sense. So it's simple but exceptionally deep at the same time. And whenever you're listening to this, obviously you can ask questions. You can send me a message. But I think it's particularly powerful idea. And it's not limited to Yom Kippur, just to end on this note. It's really every day, every time we daven, every time we learn Torah, every week on Shabbos, this is our time to cleave to Hashem. And that then affects every other part of our lives when we're doing our basic day-to-day life, which is important as part of our mission on this world. But then we're going to reveal Hashem's presence in our day-to-day life. And that, in a way, is the ultimate goal in the way. So on that note, thank you for listening.